guys, we are here in the studio with singer, songwriter, musician Max Scialdone. Hey Max, thanks for hanging with us.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
So tell us the kind of music that you play.
Well, I do a little bit of everything in my gigs that I do on the weekends. I do a lot of just everything: rock, oldies, 90s rock, country, just a lot of everything.
Yeah, awesome.
But I also do some other stuff too with my music that I write. So I do a lot of my original stuff. I don't play them out live unless I'm doing that.
Oh.
So I do that as well as sometimes.
Oh. Do you come from a musical background, or did you just kind of fall into it?
Like in my as a kid?
Yeah, like is your family music oriented, or did you just always love music and just decided?
Not really. I don't really think anyone in my family was doing anything musically.
Really?
I mean, my cousin does music. He's younger than me, so I mean, I didn't really have anyone around that did it that I wanted to do it as well. I just kind of learned when I was younger and just
cool.
Well, doing it as for a living, that I fell into, yeah.
Oh.
But playing it was sorry, probably making a lot of
That's okay.
sounds on the table over here. Stool's got me all messed up over here.
So what sort of things do you do to improve your singing and songwriting?
Well, if anyone ever asked me, you know, advice for any kind of music or anything really that they want to be good at, is practice all the time. And you gotta love it, really.
Yeah.
So, because when you get done doing it, and then when you get done doing a gig or something like that, and then you come home and you still do it, has to be because you love it. Because you can't force. Because if you don't want to do it, no one's going to make you do it. So.
Right. When you write a song, how much focus do you put on your intended audience, or do you just write from what you want?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Well, that's great, because do we have time for the answer?
Of course we do.
Okay, we have all kinds of time, right? Okay. I'm sorry. Just if you know me, I can't sit still ever.
That is okay.
I've never been able to. This is not going to be any different, but I apologize. So what was the question? Okay, so do I have other people's
interest in mind when you're writing a song, or do you just write as you want?
I used to, really. Matter of fact, I did a solo album not too long ago called Days Like These. And thanks, buddy. That's Harry over there. So yeah, I did a solo album called Days Like These. That one I was like, how many people can I get to like this? Honestly, and that's not, which I feel like that's not the way you're supposed to write music. And I do appreciate, I have a lot of people that have liked it and wanted to check it out and have picked up a copy. And I'm not saying that I don't like it, but I tried to think about what people wanted, I guess, instead of totally what I wanted. And some of it's what I wanted. And hopefully, like I did Into Shadow album that came out a couple years ago. That was the last thing I came out with, and that was with my band, and that was no compromise. There was no one else's thoughts in my head besides what I wanted to make, and it seemed to be well received, I guess, compared to the rest of other things that I put out. So I'm gonna do that for a little while and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah. How do you know when a song is done, when it comes time to stop revising and put it to music?
Well, it's never done. It's just done when you stop. But it's done when I feel like I can't make it any better, I guess.
Yeah, because I'm not a songwriter, but I would think that it would be, if you're not a songwriter, it's probably hard to, you get all your, lyrics and then your chorus and then your bridges and, and when do you finish?
Well, usually with me, I usually come up with a chorus and a verse and a chorus, and then I'll say, okay, I'm going to make this into a song, and then I'll try to. That's the easy part, the chorus and the verse, and then making it into a complete song, making that verse again, but with different lyrics, stuff like that, and then finishing it. Is it gonna keep going? Is it gonna fade out? Is it gonna be, all those different things? So.
Yeah. And how do you avoid using the same words or patterns of music when you write? Is that difficult?
Yes, it is very difficult. And you just have to be conscious of it, pay attention to it, and try to make sure that doesn't happen.
And you because obviously you play your own music and you play other people's music, so oh geez, this sounds like this last one I did, right?
Or it sounds like somebody else's, or... Yeah, I think when you're competing with yourself, if you're trying to make your music that doesn't sound like anything else that you've done, that's really hard because it's you. Yeah. And if you ever get someone's album and a lot of the songs feel similar, it's because it's them. So you can't really get away from that. But I think that me personally, I like to try to spend a lot of time on it and try to change it and come back to it and try, and I hope it comes out that way, but try as hard as I can to make each song not sound the same and keep the words different and all that stuff.
What's the worst advice you ever received regarding your singing and songwriting?
There's a lot of really great people around, musicians and stuff like that, and I haven't, as far as when you're face to face with someone, I really don't feel like anybody's giving you necessarily bad advice.
Discouraging advice maybe, or?
Actually, I never talked to anyone about songwriting. Nobody ever, I never asked anyone about songwriting because I just, we wrote, as a band, we wrote, in the band Autumn Fire, we wrote it all together. So we all just kind of did whatever we could and said, made it into a song. We put out 2 albums with that. But nobody's ever, I never asked anyone, how do I write a song or how do I do this? And no one's ever come up to me and tried to
discourage you or say, I don't. Well, that's good.
Well, you'll get people who maybe aren't into what you're into, and they want you, family, be like, why don't you write country music, or why don't you do this, and that, or whatever, so. Yeah. I guess maybe that could be discouraging, but I don't mind because I know that everybody has what they want, and a lot of times people will check your stuff out because they know you. And not because necessarily they want to hear that kind of music. So if it's hard rock or heavy metal or something, and they're not into it, but they're a family member, they might check it out, and that's always great.
Yes.
And then they say, you gotta play that country music, which is fine. I like country music. So.
What's your motto or advice you personally live by?
I don't know. I would say, really, you gotta do what's in your heart, because at the end of the day, you're the only person that you have to live with. You have to. You're the one. You're the one who's responsible for making yourself happy with what you do with your life, and you could fail at doing something that other people want you to do.
Yeah.
Or I'd say it'd be better to fail at what you want to do than fail at what other people want you to do. So if other people want you to do this thing and you don't want to do it, and you do it and then you do a bad job, or you let down or whatever, at least if you did something that you really loved and worked hard on it, I think you'll figure it out after a while. I think you'll figure out what it is that you want. You keep trying to make it a little bit better each time you go along.
That's a good one.
That's kind of, it was a little, it was a little wordy than.
No, but that's good advice, actually. What's your favorite song you love to belt out to in the car, in the shower, karaoke?
Oh man, I haven't done karaoke in a long time.
Well, no, you don't have to. I'm personally the karaoke queen. Love my karaoke.
I would enjoy it. Actually, the last time I did karaoke was in Tennessee, and at where was it? Nashville, and we went there and we visited. Just wanted to go and see what it was like, and we said, you know what, where we play, I sing. So we went to the bar, one of the bars, and did karaoke, and like we made a bunch of friends, and we're hanging out and singing, and they were like, those are the guys. They were the ones singing at the bar, because we kind of just, I don't know, I think we did a pretty decent job, but.
What'd you sing? Do you remember the song?
Oh, I can't remember. It was a good few years ago, 6, 7.
Did you do a country song?
Probably.
Nashville.
Probably.
Come on. Where can people find your music?
Well, you can find all my music is available on Spotify, iTunes, and if you are looking for any of my stuff, you can find 2 Autumn Fire albums on Spotify, my solo album on Spotify. You can find the latest thing I put out, which is actually, no, there's 2. Oh, excuse me. So, Into Shadow, we put out one, and then I had another project that I just put out with a band called Return to Ashes. So there's 2 Autumn Fire ones, 1 solo one, Into Shadow album, which I'm singing and writing with all these projects. And then Return to Ashes, one that just came out not too long ago, actually a few months ago or so. And they're all on Spotify and on iTunes. And Facebook.com. You can find me, Twitter, and all that stuff. You can find me. And I post where my shows are going to be. And YouTube as well. There's music videos, a couple music videos on YouTube. Actually, there's probably 5 music videos of mine. We got some Autumn Fire videos, a couple Into Shadow videos, 2 solo videos. Yeah, so 5 or 6.
So, are you signed with any labels, independent or major, and do you want to be?
That I'm not signed with any of that. No, I don't know. I don't know. Mostly I play covers and stuff like that, and do parties and stuff. And I love to do my solo stuff, and I hope to have the opportunity to be able to play my original stuff for a crowd in the future, which we did with In the Shadow stuff. There was a good crowd with that, and I hope to revisit that kind of thing. I like hard rock stuff, but I love the stuff that I do. I'll be playing right in Mohawk this Friday, and this Thursday I'll play in the Mohawk Legion on Friday, and Thursday I'll be playing with Matt LeMayo at the Nail Creek on Barrack Street in Utica.
Oh, good.
So,
At Barrack Street, boy, that's the place to be.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time.
Well, guys, it's been so much fun hanging with Max Scialdone today here in the studio. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, and let us know what you think of our show and our guests. And you can also check our guest link below. Remember to subscribe, log in, and stay tuned to see who we're hanging with next.
Prices that I've paid, down the road I've walked too many times, and it's days like these. Look up at the sky, and it's days like these. Missing you just makes me wanna cry. Why'd you take so long? Where did I go wrong? Down the road I walked too many times, colder than a stone. Tonight I walk alone. Down the road I've walked too many times, and it's days like these. Silence makes me cry, and it's days like these. Missing you just makes me wanna cry, and it's times like these. I'll just take my time, and it's times like these I've just lost my mind. What I've kept inside, alone inside my mind. Down the road I've walked too many times. The emptiness I made, the prices that I paid. Down the road I've walked too many times, and it's days like these. Look up at the sky, and it's days like these. Missing you just makes me wanna cry, and it's times like these. I'll just take my time, and it's times like these I've just lost my mind, my mind. Days like these.